Hello everybody and welcome to another third-party product review. Today I'm taking a look at the Shuraking SRK-02 Growl. This is the GCreation's interpretation of Snarl. And first off the bat, this has a remarkably shiny box. Look, there I am. Hi everybody! Following on from the success of Thunderous, Growl is going to form the second leg of the mighty Shuraking huge Dinobot combiner. Taking a quick look around the box, on the front there we have Growl in his bot mode, wielding both his guns. Behind him in the gold chromed area we can see the silhouette of Shuraking. And in the corner here, we get told about strong deformation. The side of the box just carries on the silhouette of Shuraking, and on the back there we have him in his Dino mode, his robot mode, his fully equipped mode, and of course his shiny leg mode. Top and bottom of the box both give credit to the designers and say that it's produced by G Studios. Out of the box he comes in a plastic blister along with a rather large set of instructions with nice easy to follow steps, and of course we get the very well known third party collector cards. Now I'm sorry, I'm a huge Snarl fan. This is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. I love my fans toys. I love my Gigapower. They're very different to this. This is more, in my opinion, something that's going to go in with your classics line, I think, because they're a lot bigger than a Voyager figure, and they've got a really nice G1 aesthetic. And I'm hoping to get this guy combined up and face off against Devastator. I really am. But these look stunning. Absolutely great. Feels really good in hand. The detailing is insane. Just look at the chest moulding on there. I mean, look at all of the detailing in there. That's absolutely incredible. There are a slight couple of bits I had to do getting him out of the packaging. When you get him out, if you just look underneath the backpack section here, the mount for the combiner port is actually facing upwards, which makes the backpack sit right up in the air and you can't get it down. So you just have to pull the combiner port down, then we can bring this back section all the way down. And he is stunning, isn't he? Really awesome head sculpt. See if we can get in nice and close. See the detailing there on that chest. Anyway, I digress. Let's have a look at his weapons. He comes with 4 weapons in total. He has 2 of these swords. I've just got a little bit of plastic left on there where I pierced the packaging. These should come with a warning label in themselves. I mean, they are incredibly sharp, so please be careful. They are only plastic, but man, they are super sharp. Again, really nice detailing on these. Nice paint applications, nice use of the metallic red. Slightly different to that used on the chest. Very slight. I mean, it may be the same. It may just be because it's painted over a different type of plastic. I don't know. It does look slightly different. Again, very good nod to the original Snarl swords. And we also get 2 of these rifles. Much smaller than what we got with Thunderous. Much easier to kind of store. Again, just with a standard peg on these. Very slight paint applications there, but enough to set the gun off. Nice detailing there. A gun's a gun. Now that is my personal preference, wielding 2 massive swords. Actually encountered my first hiccup with this figure. I don't necessarily want to use the guns. They do fit nicely into the leg sockets down here. This tab here is meant to tab into the arms, but it's a little bit too shallow, and this circular section hits against the outer ring here, so it doesn't go in far enough to peg in. And then this one here, it's just a little bit too loose. It just doesn't want to go in there far enough. I was taking a look at accessories. Let's just quickly take a look at the massive great foot that comes with him. Just to give you an idea of the articulation when he's in his foot mode. That toe can go all the way forward and all the way back. This section here is actually ball mounted, so we've got a full range of rotation on the actual joint itself, and then we've got a rocker to and fro, and then we've got another hinge on the top there, so there's an incredible amount of range. And when I transform him into his Dino mode, I'll show you how this section here can actually split in two as well, and we get two massive great Dino mounting cannons. Now, I know I touched briefly on the detailing earlier on, but if you're not watching this in 1080p, you really need to, because the detailing on this is sublime. Just look at that facial expression. I love these horns. Everything's made of a very, very solid plastic, so nothing looks like it's going to break. There is a little bit of excess play on the head there. You know, it's not as tight as it should be. I believe it is ball mounted, so there's something that could be adjusted. But, I mean, it's not going to move. If you strike him in a pose, it's not going to drop down by itself. The paint, that red they've used is absolutely lovely. I've got a very small blemish just there where there's a small chipping. Don't really know how that's come off. It does seem like a very, very durable paint though. If we go down to the crotch area, really nice, vibrant, almost electric blue there. Again, nice red. The chrome is like a chrome plate. I assume it's electroplated, isn't it? Great piping across here. Really nice. I love how all of the Stegosaurus spines, I guess, are mounted on ball joints, so there's no fear of breaking or knocking into those. It's the same throughout. Every single one of these is ball mounted, which is really good because they are a very, very thin plastic. They are sharp. So if they do get knocked, they're not going to snap. They'll just pop off the ball, which I think is a great safety measure. Really, really good. Right, let's touch on the articulation. The head looks up that much, down that much. It doesn't do a full 360. It is hindered somewhat by the back kibble section here, but we can adjust that because it's on a sliding hinge. So we do get a nice range of motion there. The shoulders themselves are on a up and down hinge. You can get a full 360-degree turn. Again, just moving those spines to one side and allowing us to turn that fully. We've got that joint coming inwards and the joint can come out. I think it's a really good how they've hinged a ball joint. It does allow for a really great range. We've got the upper bicep swivel. We've got a double jointed elbow, although we don't really get full range of that double joint in this mode. It's more for in the Dino mode, I think, because it kind of hinders. When you get to about here, you can't really do anything with it. The fists are on a swivel. The fists are in a locked position. The fingers and thumb do not move. At the moment, I have the waist locked into place. If you just untab this section here, you now get a full range of motion on the waist. There's no ab rocker or crunch on this though. I'm just going to tab that back in. The legs go that far forward and that far back. You can come out to the splits. We have a rotation at the thigh. We have a nice deep bend at the knee. And we have a toe pivot, which can go forwards and back and gives the impression of this section here bending. But unfortunately, this section itself is fixed and doesn't actually move. We can just move the toes and the heel. So we can still get some really good balance. Speaking of well balanced, with that waist locking section, it really does hold him in some really strange dynamic poses. Here he is with the rest of his snarling family. He looks the part, doesn't he? He does look the part. He's slightly taller than the Planet X, obviously much shorter than the likes of Fans Toys and Gigapower, but an amazing looking figure nonetheless. And just to give you an idea of how he looks with some of the classics figures, here he is with Cup. See, I think that's a really, really good scale. You can just imagine these guys on one of the ships kind of going off to destroy Unicron. And here's Masterpiece Wheeljack. Just to confirm, I do think he's a little bit too short to be in your Masterpiece collection. Well, especially in bot mode anyway. Now, believe it or not, this beautiful piece of artwork is in fact a transforming robot, and he does change into a dinosaur. So without further ado, let's transform him. First steps to transformation. First of all, de-weaponize your Growl. Then you want to flick down this back section here. Basically, it's the same tuck the fist away that most of these figures have these days. Just tuck inside that forearm, flip that back up, and that should tab in like so. You then want to rotate both of these arms, this one and this one like so, and just make sure this is in the downward sunken position. Looks like he's giving big thumbs up, doesn't he? Flip down this chest section, which is easier said than done because it's a job to get your nail in there. Then just tuck the head inwards like so, and flip that back up. Come round to the side of the leg and just untab the dino leg, and you want to pull that forward and just extend it outwards. Come round to the back of the legs, and you also want to start untabbing these sections at the back here. This is just tabbed in. Bring that one out, and then this section here, that again is just tabbed in. Untab that, bring that round to the side like so. Bring the chrome spine section forwards, and that's just going to tab in at the front there. You then want to just flick open the crotch retainer and just angle bedangle these thigh sections down like so. So again with this side, look, just applying pressure on the actual thigh joint itself. Just bring that down. Come round to the back section here, and applying moderate force, you want to pull this black section away from the crotch. So just tug that up like so. You want to make sure your leg is at kind of this angle. And as you bring this over, this knee section here is going to rock. You want to make sure it's clear of all the kibble. And then rock it back on itself again, like so. And this is going to slot in together. If you look here, there's a red tab just on the inside there, and there's a hole inside the grey. There's this black section in there. It's going to slot between the two legs. And there's various tabs which tab everything in together. Getting everything tabbed in my opinion, is nigh on impossible. There's so many tabs to get lined up, and I just can't get these two to tab in perfectly. Let's move on to the heads. As you can see, the head just flips up underneath, and that comes up and over the top, and this section just folds back under. And as we're folding back under, there's a tab here and a slot there. That's going to slot in like so. Bring the tail sections up and together, and again they are just going to tab in like so, and then these tabs are going to slide in behind the red sections on the torso. And finally you can just fold these tab sections round, and again they're just going to tab in together underneath. And now it's just a matter of lining everything up. Let's rotate that foot round, line the stegosaur legs up, like so, like so. And there we have it. And there he is in Stegosaurus mode. It just had to go around flipping the spines around because some of those were facing the wrong way, but that's nice and easy to do because they're all on a ball joint. There he is. He looks glorious, doesn't he? Very, very G1-esque. I mean, scary G1-esque. It looks incredible. I had some trouble with the tabs, as you saw during the video. I could not tab these two together at all. But these sections here tab together perfectly fine. And he is absolutely solid. Nothing's going to fall off him whatsoever. Really great. Want to do the Vangelis test with him, but he's all chrome and I don't want to damage the chrome. He's fine. He's robust. And like I said, the spines just pop on. They're on and off on a ball joint. Like so. Voila. I love the armoured G1 head. Some people were put off by this, but I actually think it looks very armour-esque. It looks very dino-ish, doesn't it? It does. You can imagine them having like an armoured plated head. And I think it looks incredible. There is no way of removing the plastic, I don't believe. I believe it's actually well and truly built in there. Somebody may find a way of doing it, but I think it's actually part and parcel with the head. We can open the mouth, and we do actually have some nice sharp teeth on the inside there as well. Now, do you remember what I said about these feet? We can just pull them apart, and they've got little tabs. You can flick those tabs out. Now, the same problem that I encountered earlier on with these slots on these legs. I'm having trouble just getting these guns in as well. I mean, these have got a massive, great post on them. But, again, this section in here seems to have sunken a little bit, and you just can't seem to get that in there. There's not enough of a stump there for that to go all the way in. That one kind of just about goes in. But this one, it just won't quite go in. I think the actual connector inside there is sunken slightly. I'll have to take it apart and have a look. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's just a feature that they advertise, which at the moment I'm unable to take advantage of. Here he is, transformed up with the rest of Team Stegosaur. He's basically a smaller version of these two, isn't he? He looks very, very similar, apart from this armour-coated head there. He definitely does fit in, doesn't he? If you're a dinosaur fan, this guy is glorious, and they all are. They are all very, very good, yet very different interpretations of Snarl. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with this dino mode. I honestly am. Definitely screams Generations to me. Not Masterpiece, definitely Generations. Right, to get him transformed up into giant foot mode, you just want to start unpegging all these. I've already untabbed the head here. I started to untab the body. Basically, you get him semi-transformed back into bot mode, but not 110%. Basically, we want to just come around to the underside here, make sure all of this is untabbed, and we want to fold down the legs again, like so. And this foot section just needs to come down just to the back of the leg at the moment. Make sure the legs are tabbed together. You've got those tabs there and there. Just tab those in, line everything up, push those together. And again, I'm going to try and peg these two together as well. Whether they'll decide to go this time is another thing coming. They did not want to go together. But just peg these two legs in, and make sure the dino legs are on the side here, kind of facing like this. So again, with this one, just push this one up slightly, and we want to face the dino leg upwards like so. Rotate the waist back around. We want to bend that back over, lock that in, and place a securing tab back into the slot like so. Bend the arms forward, and there's this tab under there. That's going to tab in on the underside like so. And you want to make sure that the toe section is pointing upwards. You can then come round to the back here, pull this tail down, and using the double hinge, you want to just drop that down. You can now collapse those legs back up using that double hinge. Now that we've done all of the nonsense at the back there, to collapse those up like so. Then push all of these sections together. This section does and will tab in. Seems to be going a little bit easier now after a little bit of wear. You then want to keep this flap here. This is going to fold around and just tuck in behind the leg there. There is enough room. Just holds into place. this section here is going to go down, and that's going to sit on that tab there, and these two here are going to just line up. There we go. They just tab in together. That holds all of that back section quite firmly. You then want to fold this head around like so, and that's going to come in, and you're going to bring the other head in and around like that. I'm trying to do this on camera. I'm just going to tab these two heads together. There we go, that's all tabbed in, and they just sit in nice and firmly behind the legs like that. Everything's in there nice and securely. At this point we can open up this tab section here, and we want to just move this joint upwards. Now it's really, really stiff, so I just get a screwdriver in there and just move that up like so. You can now bring in the actual foot plate, and if you just quickly pop open this front section, there's a hole here and a hole here, hole here and a hole here, and you just need to line them up either side. Found the easiest way to get this in and to lock everything into place was to actually take the bracket out of the foot, and then we'll build the foot back again around it. And there we have him in his leg mode. That was a little bit of a mission. The instructions weren't overly clear, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's that's his leg mode. It's massive, absolutely massive. Just to give you guys an idea of the range of motion, we've got a ball jointed socket under there, so obviously this section can come up. We've got some great forward and back motion. Obviously the toe itself does also rotate, so we can kind of tuck that in. We can get a really, really nice leaning pose. I mean, look at that. That's balanced on its own at that angle. That is absolutely incredible. There's these two giant legs together. This one actually looks taller just at the front here, but it's not. It's just the spikes do come up higher than the actual knee peg. Both the pegs themselves are sitting exactly the same height. It's going to be phenomenal. I like how they've kept enough things different. Even the feet are slightly different. You've got these markings on this section here, where this one's very, very bland in comparison almost. I love you've still got the ball jointed spikes. We can even have the spines as we see fit. Just to give you guys an idea of just how big these are, that's them alongside Devastator. They are pretty much spot on with Devastator's legs. He is going to be insanely big. I always wanted a Dinobot combiner to fight my Devastator when I was a kid. Now I've got a Titan class Devastator from Hasbro, and by the looks of things, I'm going to have a Titan class Dino combiner from GCreation. So there we have it, guys. This is the GCreation Growl. Very, very impressed. Not without its faults. I just couldn't get on with those arm circles. They just did not work for me. And this section here was a tad tricky to join together. The instructions aren't brilliant, but hopefully my video can guide you through those. I shall be putting up a full gallery on Benscollectables.com in the next few days. You can click through to Benscollectables by clicking the I button up here. If you have any questions or any comparison requests, please leave a comment in the comments section below. If you found the video useful, give it a big thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. Thanks again to the guys at Robot Kingdom for getting this shipped out to me so fast. And until next time, from myself and GCreation's Growl, goodbye.